Hey everyone, Seth Campbell here. Welcome back to Segway Plays The Legend of Zelda the Wind Waker. In the last episode, we confronted Ganondorf, but he slipped away as we were forced to fight Puppet Ganon. But we defeated Puppet Ganon and chased Ganondorf all the way to the very, very top of his tower. And it's a long way down. The only thing left to do is to confront him one final time. My country lay within a vast desert. When the sun rose into the sky, a burning wind punished my land, searing the world. And when the moon climbed into the dark of night, a frigid gale pierced our homes. No matter when it came, the wind carried the same thing: death. But the winds that blew across the green fields of Hyrule brought something other than suffering and ruin. I coveted that wind, I suppose. It can only be called fate. That here I would again gather the three with the crests. That I should lay my hand on that which grants the wishes of the beholder. That when power, wisdom, and courage come together, the gods would have no choice but to come down. The power of the gods, the Triforce. He who touches it shall have whatever he desires granted. Already the crest of wisdom is mine. All that remains. Do not fear. I will not kill you. I merely have need of the power that dwells within you. Now, let us put an end to that which binds us together. Gods, hear that which I desire. Expose this land to the rays of the sun once more. Let them burn forth. Give Hyrule to me. He who touches it will have whatever he desires granted. That is what you said, is it not, Ganondorf? Gods of the Triforce, hear that which I desire. Hope. I desire hope for these children. Give them a future. Wash away this ancient land of Hyrule. Let a ray of hope shine on the future of the world. that our destinies finally be fulfilled. Ganondorf, may you drown with Hyrule. This is foolishness. A future for you. What are you laughing at, Ganondorf? You're insane! Link, I'm sorry. I overslept. I think it's time for us to say goodbye to this place. We must return to the world above. Back to our ocean. Very well, then. Allow me to show you your future. Yes, allow me to show you just what hope you have. See how much your precious Triforce is worth. I'll use this bow to cover you. Attack him as best you can. So yes, here we go. This is the battle with Ganondorf. It has all come down to this, and in many ways, it starts as a pretty basic sword fight. Dodge him, attack when you can. Zelda will distract him with the bow. And if you can get the parry attack, that's really your best bet. You can't just go at him, he'll block you. You have to kind of be artful about it. Zelda also can't fire that often. But when she does, if he does not avoid or deflect it, gives you an opening. But as you can see, his swords hurt bad. Okay, now we're in trouble. But now he's really going down. There is a lot from that cutscene I want to address, but I'll talk about it after the battle. Actually, no, I will talk about it now. I really like this incarnation of Ganondorf. Through the Legend of Zelda games, he's appeared, he's had different sort of personalities and stories and dialogue, but I really like that in this one, he comes across at this very end almost in a somewhat sympathetic light. I mean, obviously, what he's done is horrible and he is the king of evil and all that, but this is the first time you really, to my knowledge, at least, you hear him talk about, he's not just like evil for the sake of being evil. He talks about the barren land he grew up in, the misery, and what it was like to grow up in this desert that was just burning heat during the day, deathly cold at night, and this beautiful, prosperous land just right next to it, where everything is wonderful and prosperous and green and healthy and beautiful. And as you can see, that drove him mad. And so this is the first time I feel like you have a Ganondorf that, like, you can see how he turned out this way. And I know we can talk about the whole timeline concept and reincarnations of Ganondorf. Like, we can talk about that all we want, but in this game, in this context, he's presented this way, and I really like it. I like a villain who has personality, who isn't just a villain for the sake of being evil and wanting to rule the world just because they want to rule the world and all that. I really like a backstory, like, even if it's a brief backstory, I really like the way they did that. Also, something in that cutscene, I love how Ganondorf just stands there with his hands still outstretched, reaching for the Triforce, even when King Daphnis comes in and snipes it out from under him, basically. He just has this look of, you've got to be kidding me. After all this, I'm so close. And this guy just beat me to it? Are you kidding? Again, you know, I love the personality. How many fairies do I have? I have 2 fairies. Okay. 2 fairies, a blue potion, and 2 servings of elixir soup. That's good. So, again, wait for the parry attack. Because when he's attacking you, that's your opportunity to roll around behind him. Get a few shots in. Zelda is fortunately awake. There's 1 fairy down. Unfortunately, a fairy will only get you back up to 10 hearts. It will not fully restore everything. Can you use your shield? Yes, you can use your shield. I should have, but the shield will not block everything. And he dodged that arrow pretty masterfully there. Gotta give him credit for his swordsman skills here. Oh, he's blocking everything now. What's... Oh, yeah, I do have to go talk to him. Link, you have to distract him. Are you ready? I'll aim for you, and you use your shield. Do you get it? Yes. So, Zelda. Zelda will fire at you, so you want to target Ganondorf and hold up your shield. Because she can't shoot him directly, but if she shoots you and you deflect it with your shield, if you're holding still enough to make this happen... Well, that didn't work. She just shot me because I got bounced around there. And there you have it. Wind. It is blowing. Jeez. That. It's gotta hurt. Link! My children, listen to me. I have lived regretting the past, and I have faced those regrets. If only I could do things over again. Not a day of my life has gone by without my thoughts turning to my kingdom of old. I have lived bound to Hyrule. In that sense, I was the same as Ganondorf. But you... I want you to live for the future. There may be nothing left for you. But despite that, you must look forward and walk a path of hope, trusting that it will sustain you when darkness comes. Farewell. This is the only world that your ancestors were able to leave you. Please, forgive us. Wait! You could come with us. Yes, of course. We have a ship. We can find it. We will find it. The land that will be the next Hyrule. So... Ah, my child. That land will not be Hyrule. It will be your land. I have scattered the seeds of the future. And thus concludes The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. The first Legend of Zelda game I ever played, first GameCube game I ever played, and a favorite all these years later. I still love so much about this game. Yes, it has its drawbacks, and they address some of them in the remake, and there's no such thing as a perfect game out there. There's only the games that are dear to us. And this game is dear to me. And it has been for a long time, and I think it always will be. Because it was so many firsts for me, but it's a really, really solid game. The music is spectacular. In fact, this end credits theme is my favorite in the entire Legend of Zelda series, the way it blends all the songs together. The characters are very interesting. The story is, it's wild. The story is original. It's drawn out, you set out to save your sister, but it's not just a save the damsel in distress, you find your sister, game over. That's only half the game. The plot unfolds and becomes bigger and bigger, and then you learn the backstory of Hyrule and the tragic fate of the original kingdom, and it gets you to really to feel the weight of everything that's going on in the Great Sea, and learning how much had to happen for it to become the way it is now. it's such a fun game to play. There's so many ways to play it, and, you know, different combat techniques. You know, there are people who challenge themselves, you know, do like 3 heart runs and such. I'm not one of those people who can do that, but I just love this game. You don't have to be a great gamer, like an incredibly skilled player, to play this game and to play through it. And I think that's also, you know, it's accessible, but it's still, as you saw, it presents its share of challenges. If you want to 100% it, you got to put in a lot of time and effort and planning. But if you don't want to, you can just play through the story. Now, obviously, there's more to it in the sense of bonus content. There is, you know, the Nintendo Gallery. There is a second quest, which will be made available to us upon completion of this here first quest. There is the Tingle Tuner. And I hope to be able to make bonus videos addressing all of these, but this is the end of the main story, and thus the end of the main series for The Legend of Zelda the Wind Waker, which is my first Let's Play. And it's a pretty amazing feeling, I have to say. I understand why so many people do this. I wanted to be a Let's Player for years. I watched, you know, every series by my favorite uploaders, like Dilandau 3000, aka Sven Roth, Chugga Conroy, Masaya Nella, Lucajin, Nintendo Capri Sun, Meowing Kittens, Proton John, all of these great game players, all with their own unique style and their unique, engaging, entertaining commentary. And I always just thought, I would love to do that. And here I am, having done it. And it's a pretty incredible feeling. I feel like I've learned a lot along the way. I definitely had a few hiccups. Recording schedule was nowhere near as regular as I hoped it would be. And I hope in future projects I can address that. But, you know, you look at any of those incredible YouTubers, gamers that I mentioned, you look at their very first Let's Play, and, you know, it's very different from what you've come to know of them, because they were just starting out and figuring out and making mistakes. And I always compare it to like an artist's first album, like Billy Joel's Cold Spring Harbor or Elton John's Empty Sky. It doesn't sound like what you're accustomed to, but, you know, they had to figure it out for themselves and find their own way, and that's what I'm doing. And, you know, I'd like to think that I'm starting to get the hang of it. So, for those who've stuck with me through this series, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope things will only just keep getting better from here in terms of me as a Let's Player. But, you know, it's been a lot of fun. And more fun will be had before you know it. Anchors away! Hold the tiller steady! As for our destination, the wind will guide us.